With the excitement that adding more power can bring, it's easy to overlook the more subtle benefits that the Triple Dog GT can provide. Chief among those is the money it can put back in your pocket in the form of fuel savings. In today's test, we'll focus on maximizing economy using the GT and the included driving coach software. Installing the GT is quick and easy. Let's take a look.
Alright, now that we're inside the vehicle, we're going to install the download. Start out by entering the main menu and just select the install download. From there on, the process is fairly easy. Just follow the screen prompts on the GT Diesel. Once we get to this point in the download, we need to select our tune. I'm going to scroll down past our performance tune to the tow/economy tune. That's the tune that we're going to use today out on our test. Today we're not worried about calibrating our speedometer because we have a tire size that is equal to stock. We're also not worried about adjusting our speed limiter because we're not going out on the drag strip. We've just completed installing our tow/economy tune, so now we're going to set up the driving coach. We're going to start by entering the main menu and scrolling down to the driving coach setup. First thing we're going to do is set our economy goal. We've set our economy goal to 10 miles per gallon. Because we're pulling a relatively heavy trailer, we can't have too high of a goal. Next thing we're going to do is reset our average economy. Resetting your average economy effectively zeroes the driving coach out so we get new data when we do our test. The next thing we're going to do is choose our acceleration sensitivity. We've chosen a high level of sensitivity because we're going to be accelerating and decelerating relatively slow because of the weight of the trailer. The last thing we get to do is choose whether we want audible alerts or not. Go in here and you can choose whether you want your sound on or your sound off. We're going to leave ours on. The last thing that you need to do is go out to the main screen and actually turn the driving coach on. So hold down any one of the 4 buttons to the left here until you see the driving coach appear. So now we've got our tow/economy tune installed. We have the driving coach set up. So now we're going to go out and do our final test run.
Fuel economy is important. Not even the most die-hard diesel fanatic enjoys paying an arm and a leg to fill up his ride. Thankfully, adding much-needed power using the Triple Dog GT doesn't have to result in sticker shock at the pump. Bully Dog tunes promote a more efficient burn within the engine, which results in more power when you put your foot down, but also reaps more miles if you drive responsibly. The driving coach software included in the GT helps you do just that. For this test, we towed a 15.8-mile loop using our 2011 6.6-liter Chevy. We included a thorough mix of highway, in-town, and interstate driving. The loop was driven 3 separate times, and we measured the fuel consumption following each run to determine our mileage. The first loop was driven stock, using an aggressive driving style and stopping and accelerating hard. The second loop was driven using a more moderate driving style, but still with no GT tuning installed. The final loop was driven after installing the Triple Dog GT and configuring the driving coach software that you saw at the beginning of this video. The results were astonishing. Driving aggressively in stock, we used 2.51 gallons of fuel to complete the circuit in 19 minutes, which gives us an average fuel economy of 6.29 miles per gallon. Driving conservatively, but still with no tuning or driving coach, we were able to complete the same circuit in 21 minutes, while only using 2.15 gallons of diesel. That's an increase of over 15% simply by changing our driving style. But the combination of Bully Dog tuning and the driving coach software topped them both. With a trip time of just over 23 minutes, we were able to complete the circuit while using just 1.76 gallons of diesel. That's an improvement of almost 20% over our previous conservative test and an astounding 30% gain over our original aggressive test, netting us a 2.68 mile per gallon improvement. In just 16 miles, we were able to save almost a gallon of fuel and over $3 by today's prices, all while only adding 4 minutes to our total trip time. Go further by making your ride a bully.